Before beginning to record the screen, the most important thing is to know how microphones work. How to connect microphones to our PCs, because as content creator, we are interested in transmitting the best audio quality possible, because that's our message that's going to get to people. Yeah, of course, if you're going to record the screen without talking, then the microphone is not so important. But you should know how microphones work, how they are connected to your PCs, all the types of connections that we have for microphones, and how to interpret all that configuration in Camtasia. So we're going to have a lesson in order to explain all the different setups that we have, all the different settings that we have to apply to our microphones in order to connect them to our PC and capture a very awesome audio quality. The first thing that we have to understand is that if we search for microphone for PCs, we find a huge amount of microphones, for example here in Amazon.com. We have thousands of choices, and this is the moment when people get lost, when they have to choose a microphone. And so people wonder, which one is the best? And this question is being asked in different Facebook groups or instructors groups. Which microphone is the best for recording? We have everything. We have all kinds of microphones from different price ranges, from different quality ranges, different manufacturers. And it all depends on what kind of audio quality we want to obtain and what's our budget. That being said, the first thing that we have to know how microphones are connected to our PC. And that's what we're going to learn in this lesson, all the kinds of setups that we can have for different microphones. The first microphone that we can find is this one that I'm showing here, is this headphone, where we have the headphones and the microphone attached to it. In this case, this microphone has a price of $29.29, but we can find them also at a lower price. Some of them are connected through USB port, some of them are connected to the audio jack. In my opinion, the audio quality is very bad for these kind of microphones. But I've seen a lot of instructors who have recorded their first course with this kind of microphones. But for me, the audio quality is terrible. It could be good if the course's content is good, but be careful because they are cheaper, but the quality is very low. So this is the classical microphone and headset that you can find for making conference calls, Skype calls, Zoom calls. This one is a little bit more expensive because we see that we have these controls here to pause, play, and mute the microphone. And the input is USB. There is a higher quality than the audio jack. Most of them are USB, but you can find also mics who are connected directly to the audio card. If we scroll down, we can see that we have a lot of varieties of this kind of microphone. If you have one of these and you want to begin recording with this one, we're going to teach you how to make an audio test, how to value the quality of this microphone or any microphone so that you can compare and choose. So this one could be one of the first choice on a low budget in order to record a course. It's not the better, it's not the best, it's not the one that I recommend in order to record a course, but sometimes that's the budget that we have, and instead of not recording a course, we can begin recording with this microphone, and then as soon as we make some money, we can buy a higher quality microphone. The second option is the Lavalier microphones, the microphones that we attach to our shirt or t-shirt or to our tie. You can see here the clip, and it has to be very near to the neck. And these microphones are not so bad. They don't have a very high quality because they're too far away from the mouth, and it gets a lot of noise, surround noise, and so the sound quality is not 100%, but they are better than the previous one. The good things about these microphones is that some of them can have the USB port, but you can see that they have also an adapter for an audio card, and this is a good option because we can not only connect them to the audio card, but also to our mobile phones, to our cell phones. And so we can capture the audio a separate track with our mobile phone, and we're sure that we're going to have a very good quality, not an excellent quality, but we can separate the audio track by recording with one device and then the video track on the other device. Also, these microphones come with a very long cable, because we can attach that microphone. So we can attach that microphone to our PC with a long cable, being able to stand up and talk and record, and hide that cable inside our shirt or t-shirt. Of course, if we separate the audio with a different device and we're not capturing the audio with Camtasia, we have to import that audio file into the Camtasia's project. And then we have to synchronize the Camtasia's audio, the system audio, with our external microphone if we record it separately. So this is another choice. There are a lot of people who use this kind of microphones to record their courses, or if they make outdoors recording. It's a good choice, and it works. We don't have a bad quality, not an excellent quality, but we have another choice if we have the budget, if we don't want to invest too much, or if someone lends us this kind of microphone, it's a good choice. Then we have a much more elaborate microphone like this one, and we can get a better audio quality with this kind of microphone, more than the other two choices that we've seen before. We can see one with this kind of cable that can be attached to the audio card. Yeah, it could be this one. You can see that the cable can be adapted to the sound card. This can be a choice, or any kind of microphone which can be connected directly to the sound card. You can see that this kind of cable. We have to take into consideration that maybe the sound card can give us a good quality or a bad quality. It depends on the quality of the sound card. It depends if it is an integrated sound card, and you have to take into consideration there's the sound card who digitizes the audio. So take into account that this could be good or bad depending on the quality of the sound card that we have installed in our computer. The next one is the same kind of microphones, but with USB. This one is better because the sound is already digitized inside the microphone and is transmitted through the USB to the computer. Maybe this one could be digitized also, but the transmission of the information is different from the one with the USB. Instead of taking this kind of jack, I prefer the one with the USB connection. For me, these two types of microphones, the USB one, are the kind of microphones that we would buy for my course. So I would choose, according to my budget, the one with the USB connection, because it's always better to work with the USB connection than to connect the microphone directly to the sound card with the jack. So if our sound card is broken, it doesn't work, then we're blocked. Instead, with the USB port, we have the option to connect to different ports. So most of the times we have more than 2 USB ports on the PC, and we don't depend on the sound card. So this is the best option to begin with, small, and we have different price ranges. The next option that we have to capture with microphones is with the analog microphones, that they capture directly the sound, and it is transmitted analogically with this kind of cable. This is a sound cable, and once that is captured, you can see this is a high range microphone. This one is the one that I'm using now, but so take into consideration that maybe if someone lends you a microphone, the kind of cable that it has is this one. So we saw before that we have the USB cable and the jack cable for the sound card. So what happens when we have this one? We need a special cable. You can see that there is 3 connectors. There's a special input, and this cable is called TPM, and it needs an input and a special output. And once that we have this cable has to go through an interface that is going to digitize the sound. Here's the input for the microphone. We can connect it here or here, and once the audio comes here into this card, it's digitized, and we have a lot of options to configure this digital copy, and then we can transmit that digital signal with the USB cable into our PC. So when we launch Camtasia, the thing that is going to be recognized by Camtasia is not the microphone, but this sound card that is connected to the PC with the USB. So we have a lot of microphones like this one. We have a lot of cables to connect to a soundboard, to this kind of equipment. You can see that it costs $239, but we can find them also at a lower price. You can get it from $100 to $200 also. So this is all the setups of different microphones that we can find. And of course, another thing that I recommend to you is to buy a microphone stand. So with this stand, we can bring the microphone very near our mouth, and we can have also our desktop free because we can attach them to some of the place. So take a look here. The arm stand is attached to the table, and you can see that all this area is free in order to record. So if we use this kind of setup and we put the microphone on the desktop, when we begin typing or we move the mouse or whatever movement, all that sound is going to be transmitted through the stand into the microphone. So if we manage to have this kind of setup, all those noises that we produce with the keyboard, all the mouse clicks, all the things that we do on the table are not gonna be transmitted to the microphone, because the road this noise has to follow is very long. So this is a choice I suggest to you. So these stands are from different prices. We're going to see different recommendation, low, high, mid-range prices. So you can choose the microphone according to your budget. But these are the setups that we can have.